back, everybody. It is the Working Brother back at you with another talk, and this time we've got Peter from Tweed Street, Scotland, back with us finally. Peter, how you doing?
I'm good, Working Brother. Thanks very much for having me back on. It's been a while. Been a couple of trials and tribulations between the last time I spoke to you and just now, and a lot of them happening worldwide.
Yeah, it's been an extremely long time since we talked. First you were a little busy, and then I was a little busy, and then now we're here. But the point is, for anybody who doesn't know, I'll leave a link to older video that Peter and I did, and you can see there that he was a subscriber of mine, and he reached out, and how did you come across my channel in The Working Brother? Do you remember?
I think I was on it was a Telegram channel I was subscribed to, and they'd posted one of your videos. I don't know if it was one of your videos where you were in the Donbass, or it was a previous video that they posted that I subscribed to your channel, and then I seen your Donbass video, and I got in touch with you, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah. And you can find Peter with his tongue twister of a name channel, Tweed Street, Scotland. It always gets me. It still gets me. You might have noticed now when we started recording on Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X. How do you feel about it changing to X?
Nonplussed. It's just a. It's supposed to be more free speech. However, I'm still under shadow banning and heavy censorship, and that's the way it goes. It depends. The content that you're sharing will depend on what you think it. And until such times as you can share information that's relevant to your area freely without your government jumping all over the top of it, or one of your two governments, in my case, with the UK government jumping all over the top of it. So it's just a way of contacting. I use it for my news. I don't use it for anything serious anymore. But I don't use mainstream. So everything that I find is online because you get a better chance of getting more accurate, up-to-date information.
Yeah, true. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, considering you're from Scotland,
that's a Wales flag, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah. I know it's a Welsh flag. I'm just saying the fact that you're all subjects of BBC. You're subjected to it, whether you like it. You pay the tax, don't you? You have to pay the tax. It's like non.
Well, they have a licensing scheme where you're supposed to pay.
It's a tax.
TV license. It is a tax. Yep. However, I don't think there's many people in Scotland pay it, or in Wales for that fact. It's just a state propaganda channel. That's all it is.
So we're gonna get into some touchy subjects here. This is a comedy channel. Let's get all that clear. Standard disclaimer. This is just a comedy channel. Nothing we say here has anything to do with reality. Any resemblance to reality is purely coincidental. Now that that's out of the way, so this happened, and I was like, wow, wasn't she like their main number one person? What happened? Why did this happen?
Why did it happen? Right, so there's still an active court case. Well, there's not. There's still the chance of active court case. So I need to be careful in what I'm saying. However, it's allegations of mismanagement of funds. There was a supposed ring-fenced independence fund from independent supporters that went missing, and maybe some other things. And there was a camper van found on a driveway is about as much information as I can give you. It's all in the public domain, that. But we're as blind to it as what you are at the moment. It's a case of there's a lot of speculation, but we can't give our take on what it might be just yet.
Let's switch to the sports. And in the Scottish Premier League, the Celtic Green Brigade fans, who I know are not Scottish, they're not, right?
Oh, they're whoa, right, hold on, see, right, if you're going to get it right, they're called Celtic, right? They are the Green Brigade, and they are a mixture of fans with Scottish birth and other nationalities.
All right. So they are Scottish, basically, like citizens of Scotland, I should say.
Yes, I mean the football team is Scottish. You will get the accusation that a lot of them are Irish. There is a lot of travelling fans that go to Celtic home matches. They come from Ireland. They come from all over the world, to be fair. But there is a big Irish contingent. However, there are a lot of Scottish people there as well. So I think it's unfair to say that they're not Scottish. They're representing a Scottish football team.
Awesome. I'm not into football, so I have no idea. So it's good that you have at least basic knowledge to like clue our guests in. Guests? Why did I say guest? Our subscribers, the watchers.
Yeah, viewers. Yeah,
viewers.
Watching the watchers. Watching the watchers. Just to say, by the way, I do agree with the message. I do agree with the message that they were displaying.
Yeah, this is we are a pro-Palestine channel. Can you say that you're pro-Palestine in the UK now, or can you not even say it?
Well, I'm pro-Palestine. I'm not pro-Palestine. I'm not pro-Israel. I'm pro-peace. I'm pro civil liberties.
Listen, if there's a fight going on, listen, these pro-peace people, if there's a fight going on and you're pro-peace, you're just waiting for it to finish. You know what I mean?
No. I would rather it hadn't started. However, I can see what's going on, and I can see the genocide and the ethnic cleansing that's been carried out by the Israelis. I can see what... My eyes don't deceive me in that respect. However, the Western leaders can't see that. They see that it's self-defence. I mean, self-defence against an occupier, I don't think is something in international law. But maybe we can go into that a wee bit later on.
Let's not get into the heavy subjects, and let me cut you off before I forget with two statistics that I heard recently that are worth mentioning. One, 900 families, as in like the whole living family or name or family tree or bloodline have been wiped from Gaza. More than 900 bloodlines have been wiped from Gaza. Also, another interesting way to look at it is 0.5% of the population of Gaza has been killed. And another way to look at it is 1 in 200 people have been killed. And let's not forget that most of them are children. Or like the vast majority. Is it not? No, it's a slight minority, I think, now. I think it's like 5,000 children, 6,000 children out of like 15, something like that.
Out of 15,000, that's the last numbers I've seen as well. WB.
Let's move on from Gazan children for a bit, because that is a little depressing, and go into another joke. I mean, another parody, or whatever this is, because this is from a comedy channel, friend of the show, Joaquin Flores. Dying at rates never seen before.
Yeah, so let's jump from genocide to democide. Okay.
Is it democide? Yeah, that's what you'd call it.
It's democide when your government tells you it's safe and effective.
But is it? But it's not just your government. It's like the world government, and it's like the World Health Organization, and all the Pfizers and the other CEOs and doctors and medical experts.
So let me just get my take on sovereignty. Sovereignty, until such times as our sovereignty has been ceded away to the World Health Organization under the IHR, the sovereignty still lies with the government that was elected by the people of the land. So, therefore, the Scottish government are responsible for the Scottish public's health. Knowing all the information that we know now that was available to all the governments, it becomes Democide. They've facilitated these excess deaths, either through malfeasance in office and not knowing and looking through the information, or looking the other way. Whatever way you cut it, in my opinion, it's Democide.
Can't agree more. Like, not much I can say other than can't agree more. But yeah. So what do you have to say about this like surprising figure of how many children have been?
Again,
I don't know even what to call
I think
it.
it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific that we have these figures coming out, and there hasn't been a single Scottish MP or MSP, member of the Scottish Parliament or member of the UK Parliament, that have acknowledged this. There's only been one member of the UK Parliament at the moment that I'm aware of, Andrew Bridgen, that's raised this in the Parliament. I've contacted my MP by email and he's ignored them. I've contacted them on X or Twitter, and he responded to say that he wasn't interested in going to the excess deaths hearing that Andrew Bridgen had secured at the Westminster Parliament.
I thought when you said he responded, I thought I was gonna get excited, but like wow, that took a sour turn real quick.
Yeah, and again, but a lot of people don't realise that when you're elected to office, it comes off the back of the public. And if you are not doing what you were elected to do, then there is recourse that could be had. With all the levers of power being tied up, corrupt, whatever way you want to call it, it leaves no other option. Because when injustice becomes law, when tyranny becomes law, injustice becomes your only outcome. So it leaves people angry and lashing out at things. And
I think it's the Americans who have like this saying that some tree has to be watered with some kind of red liquid from time to time for some kind of values and stuff. I don't know. I can't remember the exact quote. Something about a tree of liberty and something about a tree of liberty and blah blah blah. Those crazy Americans over the pond. In any case, let's get back to the lovely subject of the UK's or your guys' government. This guy's a member of the Scottish government.
He's the first minister of Scotland. Of Scotland.
Who replaced Sturgeon, right?
That's right, the continuity candidate, Weft Puppet, whatever you want to call it, that replaced the previous.
What does continuity mean? Does that mean he was selected? He wasn't elected?
Well, again, I think they exaggerated the membership. They said that the membership was something like 70,000, and then it was found out that the membership was only 50,000, 55,000, if memory serves me correctly. And he was elected by the membership with something like 30,000 votes, maybe 28,000 votes, which was just more than 50. I think it was about 52% of the membership that elected him. So, since he's been put into place, it's been catastrophe after catastrophe. The only thing that I agree with him on is his calls for ceasefire in Gaza. Everything else
Has he actually
seems
called
to be-
for a ceasefire? Can he
Yeah,
say that in the UK? Because like I've seen like the Canadian, what's his name, Trudeau, go like
oh,
see, and then like he can't
he's,
actually
he's,
pronounce the word.
he's ceased to talk here. Yeah, he was. But it was a couple of weeks before it. He had a Nazi, a former Galizia SS member,
Hmm.
in the
Yeah,
Canadian Parliament with Vladimir Zelensky, and they were all applauding him and Zeke hailing him and what have you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're all just playing parts. They're all just actors playing parts. They're all bought to go out there and stand in front of the camera and say whatever they think
Um,
will get the longest bit of road out of, because people are getting the piss took at them. They're getting their rights taken away, prices increased, poisoned by, if it's no in the air, it's in the food, it's by vaccines. But the New World Order didn't come with just a wee oh aye, that's us here. They need to make a lot of changes here now for them to be happy in their New World Order, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to depopulate us.
yeah. Turns out Alex Jones was right about just about everything. In any case, I wanted to draw attention to my supporters on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you for buying me coffees, and may you continue to do so. And now that that's out of the way, we can go into some memes, because this is a comedy show. Everybody like, share, subscribe. If you're new here, hi, welcome. This has nothing to do with reality. This meme is apropos some of the previous uploads that have not gone live yet. By the way, this is being recorded on the 21st of November. Baryaktar for Azerbaijan, Baryaktar for Ukraine, and thoughts and prayers for Palestine. That pretty much sums up Erdogan's policy. How do you feel about that?
Again, Erdogan has spoken of intervening. He's spoken of raising a case at the ICC. I don't know if he's actually done that yet.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
spoke. I don't
But he
think he
has
has.
given drones to Kosovo. I forgot that when I was reading the meme.
Yeah.
The
So again, Erdogan appears to be a puppet of the West.
Mhm.
That's again, it's hard to see it any other way, because, as you say, there was all of these interventions from Turkey for other places, and yet,
Shall we watch a video?
yeah, let's
Can I
do
play a
that.
video in the background? Let's get familiar with this episode first. This happened about a month ago, and we'll see how
In
it.
my last video, everybody from Gaza is moving towards where we are. 1 million people, no food, no water. And still they're bombing them as they leave. Where are we going to put them? But my thought is, all these people in the hospital cannot be evacuated. Where's humanity? Where's people's hearts in the world to let this happen in this day and age? And may God help us. Goodbye.
All right. So that was the first part of that story. Let's put it that way. And then this. Let me see where it is. There we go. No, that's the wrong one. Come on. Is it not here? No, it's not here. But her family made it.
Yes, they did.
There we go. There's a story.
Yeah, thankfully, there was some people made it out of Gaza alive. I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely atrocious seeing the things that are going on in Gaza, and also in the West Bank as well. I mean, because they say they're trying to eradicate Hamas. However, Hamas are in the West Bank, but there's still over 200 West Bank deaths and so many arrests. But again, we don't know too much about what goes on in these places because our own media won't tell us this. But there are other alternative media sources out there, so to make sure to look. It's good that they got home. Scotland, the First Minister paid, I think, £750,000 in aid.
Oh, for real?
Financial aid to Gaza. Or maybe, I don't know, but in that direction. So I don't know who it went to. It could that could have secured the passage home. I don't know. I'm maybe just speculating. Maybe I'm putting two and two together and coming up with five.
What is it called? Common Core math. That's what they call it in the U.S. That's acceptable. 2 and 2 is 5 in the world we live in, and definitely is on this comedy show. In any case,
on this comedy show, but not for the street Samfi, because everybody knows what 2 and 2 is 4. Everybody knows that a woman can't have a penis. Everybody knows that. Ukraine carried out a genocide in the Donbass before Russia attacked. Everyone knows all of these things, you know what I mean? And
Russian propaganda, man. All I'm hearing is Russian propaganda.
If we're talking about Russian propaganda, we need to
what do you mean there's no two there's only two genders, man? How can you say that? You must have offended at least one fruit that's watching this.
There's only two sexes. It's no genders. Gender's a specific language. It's sexes, male and female. Do you know who made that? It was God that made that. God that created that. So I would rather use his speech rather than compelled speech of somebody else. But
agreed. Couldn't agree more.
At least there's a Bible I can go to reference these things.
It's very interesting that you point out like sex versus gender when we brought that up, because there are only two sexes and there's no such thing as gender. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's true. I was on the subject of Palestine before we go into Ukraine, because we're going to touch about Ukraine because you mentioned it, and I've got some things loaded that kind of tie into Scotland. But the point is, on the subject of Palestine, there's some meme here. Wait, where's that ship? Should we watch the ship video? Or no, we have that video. We have that video of you there. There we go. But we'll turn the music down. These are some Scottish artists that visited, I believe they're filmmakers that visited Gaza in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Or 2016. 2016, I think. And they filmed a little video. I just wanted to showcase it here. It's got music playing in the background, which is the lyrics that you're seeing on screen. But I don't want to play it because I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike. So, there. This is the point you made about the West Bank not being part of of Hamas and everything being Hamas to the Israelis, and then the genocide that's going on is catastrophic.
Yep.
Speaking of genocide, let's bring some light to this. This is Israeli Minister Ben Gvir cheered for the destruction of a Palestinian woman's shop just because she posted pictures on social media. So this is for all the people who are like, the Palestinians should just integrate and become part of like Israeli society. This is what happens to people who are Palestinian and then become integrated with Israeli society. I'll just let you read.
Yeah, this is the first I've seen this, Stefan. So
yeah, it's horrific.
I mean, there's been some good news. I don't know if you've heard it, that there's going to be a hostage released or a hostage swap and a ceasefire. Yep. Hostage exchange and a ceasefire. Which, I mean, as long as there's no firing, then there's no dying. Well, that's no particularly true, because the hospitals are running out of fuel, and there are people in there that are still dying. So they need to make sure that the blockade is lifted to get aid into the hospitals.
Yeah.
But it gives us a wee bit of hope. At least if they stop to exchange, they might have a chance to.
It's a start. It's a start. It's a sign of like positive possibilities. Let's put it that way, in the sense that like maybe now that there's a chance of a communication channel of some sort of like
because there's
de-escalation.
The diplomacy has been missing for the past 75 years, to be fair. So maybe they found it, and I don't know about you, but I've been seeing on other channels about some of the successes that Hamas have been having in Gaza with the Israeli army. So it might well be the case that because of the losses that the Israelis are suffering, it's opened them up to dialogue. And if it stops anymore anywhere, then that's what we want. We want peace for everybody, to be fair. Gives a chance to live with a smile on their face for a while.
That would be good. That would be good. But I think we're quite a way away from that, considering
yes,
that the forces against are much greater than the forces for peace. But like I think we're gonna have to like push it out like a bad kidney stone before we get to urinate in peace.
Let's look at some more propaganda then, some more war propaganda. Let's get this helicopter. You know, doing the helicopter now?
No, we'll do the helicopter thing in a bit, but I just wanted to get your take on this. This happened a while ago. I can't remember when exactly, but there was a protest in the missile factory that builds these Storm Shadows that are sent to Ukrainistan. How do you feel about Scotland being in the limelight? About not only like you discussed last time, being a host of the nuclear submarines, but also being the host of the weapons industry. How do you feel about that personally?
Personally,
it's a comedy show, so you can say anything,
If it was my choice, right? Here's what I would do, right? Here's what I would do, right? So if I was First Minister of Scotland for the day, I would summon my cabinet. I would make an announcement that we were unilaterally declaring independence for the UK Union and ending the Treaty of the Union, 1707. Mm-hmm. I would
nationalise everything.
Renationalise everything. I would stop the distribution of Scottish wealth to Westminster, which would choke up their war machine, that would choke up the supply to the Israelis. I would then charge the United States government £100 million a day for storing the nukes on the Clyde until such times as they were removed. And any of the funds for that, I would go to rebuilding Gaza. There you go. Obviously Scotland would be independent. I know all the money that Scotland saved from wars that a colonial empire takes us into, whether we want to go or not, would go towards rebuilding a better Scotland and making the life of the sovereign Scots a lot easier. Energy would be free, and so would your living quarters. You would work for the land would work for you. That's what I would do. There you go. That's my ideal world.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Good start and pretty good finish too. Let me see what else I've got here. You wanted to get to that video. Let's do that. Let's get to that video. I think that's what's loaded up next here. If I click next, oh no, next we've got some footage of what Gaza looks like now after 41 days, and it's absolutely horrific. The Israelis. First of all, I want to get your take on. Now that he's blocked me, I'm going to call him out, and I'm going to say that Wyatt Lim from Defense Politics Asia who blocked me for disagreeing with him about, what's going on with Hamas.
All right, okay.
has been saying things like, there's that video of the Russian POWs that I brought up in the last podcast or talk or whatever you want to call it, and we'll let this video of the Houthi attack on the merchant ship owned by an Israeli, the second richest Israeli, I think, person through a British shell company off the Isle of Man. But the point is, we'll let this play in the background and trash talk Wyatt, because he commented on his channel a bit, and he was saying that, like, he doesn't understand why these people, quote unquote, as in dual citizens, Gazans who have Russian passports, chose to live in Gaza. Like, why did they choose to live in Gaza when they're dual citizens? It's like, hello, maybe they're not dual citizens by choice. Maybe it's their homeland. What do you have to say to people who have this, like, attitude of, like, Gazans are not in an open air prison? How do you feel about Gaza being an open air prison while this amazing footage plays in the background?
I mean, the footage is phenomenal. It does have a wee bit look of a bit of AI. I don't know if that's just because of the...
No, it's just the quality.
The quality.
Yeah, it's just the pixels. And probably getting worse when you see it, because it's going through the video back to you. But yeah, the point is...
It kind of looks a wee bit augmented reality, if I'm honest, even though...
It does, because of the mounting of the camera. The camera is mounted. Yeah. It's like a 3D. It's a 360 camera that's mounted on a stick, obviously to the guy's waist, and it's cropped in post production and stabilized. So that's why it has this, like, awkward camera angle feel to it. And if you pay attention earlier, hold on, let me go back to the. Where's my mouse? There it is. Let me go back to this footage. You see, this is the same thing. Like, this is not a camera that's stabilized. It's a 360 camera that's actually cropped to look like it's stabilized. You know what I mean?
Right. I see.
That's why it has this, like, weird effect going on. Yeah, so this guy's running through here, and then this is them with the captured ship. I can just imagine, like, the guys are on board. Apparently there's Ukrainians on board, as in, like, mariners, and there's other mariners on board as well.
The Ukrainians are getting everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of Ukrainian merchant mariners, apparently. But the point is, and Russians
there's not many soldiers.
No, there's not many male soldiers. There's some females that have been popping up here and there, we can say.
It's my bad.
Yeah.
So what was on the ship? Has it been
There's nothing on the ship. It's a car transporter, but I think it was sailing empty.
Right.
Do
you think there's going to be more of this?
Well, I think it's definitely going to put, like, some people on notice. You know what I mean? Like,
let's be honest. Who in the world is not on notice at this minute?
No. I mean like people who are, like, thinking that they're isolated enough from Israeli ownership by having two shell companies,
yes.
are going to have a wake-up call. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's so much going on, Stefan, and it depends on, like, which country's politics you're actually following. Will depend on your take on a lot of things.
Yeah.
What's happening in the States? Like, with the
in the States, man, the States on fire, man. As far as I'm concerned, like, forget about it. Forget about like sooner or later it's just gonna implode and it's gonna be spectacular. You're gonna like watch it with like binoculars from far away from across the ocean and be like, wow, look at the fireworks. This is not a call to action. This is like
because you've got
prophecy, comedic
you've got
prophecy.
exactly because you've got the corporation that's bankrupt, and then you've got the republic which has been newly formed.
Yeah.
So, who's on what side?
I think it's like a cold civil war. Many people have described it like that, and like with a legal civil war, basically. And
so really, we want the republic, the newly re-reformed republic, to be successful.
Theoretically,
over the top of the deep state cabal. Is that right?
Well, one would hope so. Yeah. That's something to aim to.
Right. That's a digression. Sorry.
Speaking of the cabal, no, it's fine. This is a talk, not an interview. There's no structure here, and it's a comedy show on top of everything. Have I said that enough? Let me know in the comments. Haha. In any case, make Argentina great again. Trump tweets on his what's it called? The Trump's thing. Truth Social.
Truth Social. That's it.
And on Twitter X, prosperity for Argentina, says Moscovich. And then on my feed on Telegram, this picture comes up, and everybody's seen the videos of him dancing and partying somewhere in between Yeltsin and Zelensky. Do you think this is a good omen for Argentina?
For Argentina, no. Is it a good omen for the world? No. I mean, he said some of the right things that he's wanted to blow. What did they say? He wanted to blow up or destroy the central bank. Okay, that gets you a tick, right? We'll agree with that one.
How long is he going to say it for after he gets elected? That's the real question.
Right. That's the $64 million question. Right. So he says he wants to blow up the central bank. He's against the woke left, but he's open for a conversation about child trafficking and organ trafficking. He's a former WEF global young leader.
So's Putin, so it doesn't mean anything. But
I know that.
But good you're mentioning it because I don't know all this stuff. Like you can list off all these details.
But he's also obviously a friend of Israel, a friend of the deep state. So I think it's good for Argentina. No, I think that he could be the kind of a Falklands new Zelensky type guy against the English, but they would call themselves the British Army.
Time out. So you're suspecting he's going to try and do like a Zelensky type move for the Falklands against the British and
Yep.
Really?
Oh,
really, huh?
I wouldn't put anything past these evil bastards anymore, Stefan. Honest to God. I just keep reading my Bible and going, I can see what's happening next. Oh, I can see what's coming next. This is happening here. So there's a chance that could be, because they're talking about forever wars. They're talking about changing everything before 2030, and there could be a reason for that. If you know about prophecy in scripture, then you maybe know what that reason is. But you can go and read that. But there's all these different permutations. But the prophecy tells you one thing. So go and read. Because what was it? Netanyahu was quoting prophecy, talking about the Amalek and what have you, a couple of weeks ago when he was justifying his ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza.
Who was?
Netanyahu.
Oh, Netanyahu. Nothing Yahoo.
Satan Yahoo.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far. As one of my former co-worker friends who was a lawyer, used to tell me he's just a lower level demon. You know?
Well,
Not speaking of
who,
Netanyahu, but like just in general. Don't
yeah,
grandiose these people.
no, we know who owns the state of Israel, and or again, there's allegations that the lease was up on the 31st of October.
Hmm.
It was only some sort of 75-year corporational lease that you can have on an entity. So I don't know about that. Do you know anything about that, Stefan?
No, that's way beyond my pay grade because I don't get paid anything. I just get donations. Sometimes
I know that.
rarely.
If we run through just slightly historical fact, there's letters that prove this.
Wait, are you talking about the Balfour? Are you talking about the Balfour
Yes,
Declaration?
yes. Yeah.
Oh wait,
well,
I got a meme lined up. Hold on. I got a meme lined up before we get to that. Ye olde
right.
UK. There we go. And this is from Earl Grey. You started it. No, you started it. And the British are going.
Very good. Very good.
And his comment here. Has it not crossed people's mind why the UK government voted in the actions of a foreign government? Like, literally? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So, yeah.
maybe folk will understand now why when I set up my channel, it was Tweet Street Occupied Scotland, right? So you get what I'm calling for that, right?
Yeah.
So Rothschild wrote to Balfour saying that they wanted gifted Palestine because Palestine was a British state at that point.
Dominion.
British.
I think they refer to it as Dominion.
Dominion, that's the word. I couldn't, for whatever reason, the voting machines wouldn't jump into my mind there for some reason, the Dominion.
I just made that connection. I never made the connection. Dominion,
go, right,
huh?
Dominion,
It's their
right.
Dominion.
Do you see where it's coming from, right? So, Dominion. But that's digressing again. Right, so he wrote to Balfour saying that he wanted gifted Palestine. And Balfour wrote back, and that's the Balfour Declaration that you highlighted there, to say that the British government, or the UK government, thought it would be a good idea to gift Palestine to the Rothschilds. And that's how Israel that gets spoke about today is known. It was Palestine before that. And that's why we're in the situation that we find ourselves in today. There was supposed to be something to do with, because it was a corporation, there was only a 75-year lease, and you can't re-register on land. International law doesn't allow you to re-register on land under the same corporation. So there has to be another international legal settlement.
Entity type of thing?
Like yep.
Interesting.
I don't know enough about it, Stefan, and it's been threads more than anything. I've been following and going right, well, and then going and the usual. Once you follow a thread, you go and do a wee bit of research and you try and check out what to make it watertight, what the legalities, what the possibilities of that actually happening, and it does all check out. So for people that are better versed than myself in that, they could probably make more sense of it. If you haven't already heard about it, check it out.
Yep, definitely. I'll go on.
I was just going to say, we know that it's it was the Rothschild state, and look, they've been selling off a lot of things. And when I say a lot of things, they never used to sell anything. So it is 1, 2, 3 things is a lot of things to them. So they've been selling off a lot of things for one reason or another. I don't know what that reason is. Maybe something to do with the banking situation in America.
Yeah, who knows? Let's take a little bit of a detour and visit the east of Europe to Belarus, where there has been a monument erected to potatoes in Belarus. And this is the monument right here. It's I think it's excellent. What do you think?
It's unusual. I mean, it's a basket full of potatoes under an archway. What was is that? Is Belarusian potatoes a big thing?
Yeah, Belarusia is famous for its potatoes. And he's the number one, or the first one, as he's called.
Do you know that in Scotland? Do you know that in Scotland one of the MPs in Parliament is called the feral potato?
The feral potato?
The feral potato. Well, it's one of those silly names that people give him. Patrick Harvey, the Green MP. They call him the feral potato just because we're talking about potatoes, and I thought we'd try and line it up a wee bit.
Now, let's go to Ukraine and to an online marketplace. And because there's no fans of Nazis in Ukraine, this is what a random Ukrainian patriot online shop looks like. No Nazis in Ukraine. No fans of nuts.
No, there's none.
No fans of my struggle either, or my life, or whatever it's called.
Well, here there was another thing that cropped up in Gaza. An allegation of Mein Kampf being found.
Oh yeah, I covered it. I covered it with the Soviet bear just now. It's hilarious. Go on.
Was that in a nursery school that was supposed to have been found?
I'm not sure. I didn't watch the actual propaganda video by the IDF. I just saw the memes. I have a meme, but it's not loaded now. It's hilarious.
I mean, it's all propaganda. That's all we've seen coming for.
It's hilarious. I also in the last episode we covered some Israeli Nazis, Israeli fans of nuts doing the nutty salute and all the stuff with the Israeli flag and the no flag too. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. What can I say? It'll be live by the time this is up. All right. No nuts marketplace. Israeli stuff we covered, virtually signaling we covered. We've covered almost everything here. I think we've covered. Oh wait, we didn't cover those things that you sent on the X. Let's do those X stuff. What does this guy have to say? Let's find out. This is the first time I see it.
Economy. The current pandemic has brought unimaginable devastation to people's lives, livelihoods, and national economies. At the same time, the green recovery represents...
Okay, we seem to have lost Peter. Let's see what happens while you watch the rest of this video.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live and do business. Now, I have long believed that we need a shift in our economic model that places nature and the world's transition to net zero at the heart of how we operate, prioritizing the pursuit of sustainable, inclusive growth in the decades to come. Having been championing climate action now for the last, 40 years, I can tell you that this isn't a fight for the faint-hearted. However, increasingly we are seeing more and more businesses, investors and consumers prioritizing sustainability and thus creating a much more virtuous circle of supply and demand. By leveraging market forces and the immense resources of the private sector, there is hope that we can transform the situation. But I'm afraid we are literally at the last hour, and there is real urgency for action. We know now what we have to do to rescue the situation, rather than going on talking about it.
All right.
I've put myself on my mobile because my computer system's crashed, so give me a wee second to get this. There we go.
I've still got you tied in here. You're still on here.
Right, that's cool. It must be.
Yeah, so we just heard your king speak about the WEF and the other stuff. And don't worry about the technical difficulties. We're used to it here. The subscribers have a high tolerance for technical difficulties, bad jokes, and really coincidental political humor. And don't worry, I've still got your virtual green screen running, so you're like, there's no background to you.
Right, that's cool. I'm just trying to get myself. Right, hold on, to get myself
There you
in the
go.
screen properly. Right, we're
There
back
you go.
on.
Excellent. Welcome back.
Thanks very much. Sorry, I took a wee my signal dipped out there, but I think what it is, a lot of the things that we speak about, or a lot of the things that get spoken about, they trigger the spooks, and
Nah,
they
man,
start
you're
interfering
just
with the signal.
paranoid, man. You're paranoid, man. Like you're imagining things. Like no, there's nobody. I think it's AI. We're not high value enough to have actual people behind us. I think it's just AI programs running in some background, some office, some server farm. In any case, let's get back to this. So we need a shift in our economic model that places net zero at the heart of how we operate. When he became king or took office or whatever it's called in the Dominion, I had a feeling there was a lot of this climate crap that was going to come up. How do you feel about what we just watched?
It's just another way to try and take freedoms away from people. If you ask me, it's a power grab. It's another way to take money, land, titles, whatever way you want to look at it. They'll take whatever they can, and the experts that they've silenced are finding a way to get their voice out, unlike the medical experts for the last crisis that we were getting dragged through. So at least some of the people that have got expertise in the area of the climate, the weather, the earth are getting their chance to have their voices heard at least.
Yep, couldn't agree more. At least we're bringing attention to some of the like fake stuff and differentiating it with some of the real issues that are actually poisoning us and actually messing up not only the planet but also, like you mentioned, our freedoms. Speaking of freedom,
Did you just say planet there?
I might have. I've been around a lot of different people. Let's put it that way. Plus, we have to satisfy the algorithm here. Listen, now let's talk about this freedom here.
Yeah,
freedom of information. How do you feel?
Yeah,
this is in Scotland, right?
Yeah, this is in Scotland. This is a guy that I follow on Twitter, a mutual follower, Rustler, who's got his own podcast on BitChute as well, for anybody who covers a lot of this information when it comes to not just Scotland, England, Wales, and other countries in Europe as well. He's covering all the excess deaths more than anything else, and also the what is it? The pregnancy
miscarriages and so forth.
And miscarriage, anomalies in pregnancy and birth and what have you. He's covering all of that. I was in 2022, I think it was. I was at a 4-day-old baby's funeral, and the mother had the thing in her third trimester of pregnancy, the inoculation, and the baby only survived for 4 days. These things are becoming more and more common. And the unfortunate thing is they're getting swept under the rug, and people are ignoring these things. And the way I've tried to explain it to people, pre-pandemic, if, for instance, you went to a restaurant or you went out somewhere to get something to eat and the food was bad, and you left a review and you told people, they would believe you and not go to that place. But see, when it's this health thing, yep, it doesn't make any difference how many stats you provide or how many cases.
Bad reviews. or videos of people vomiting the food. Metaphorically speaking. Yeah.
Yeah. People still don't want to accept that that's what's going on. And I mean, denial isn't just a river in whatever it is. Africa, Asia, North America, South America.
Yeah. It seems to be a river everywhere. Considering the somber topic of your last little thing that you mentioned there, I have this somber infographic. Before the violence escalated, there were 100 trucks every day, and everybody was celebrating the 20 trucks of aid. So I just wanted to put that in perspective before we sign off here. Peter, is there anything? First of all, I want to thank you for powering through the technical glitch. Everybody, like, share, subscribe. Find Peter on the Twitter. I also made him do a Telegram channel a long time ago. I don't know how that's going. I don't think that took off.
I don't really put much time into my Telegram channel. I don't put much time into any anymore, if I'm honest. With my health being the way it was there for a while, it was a case of that was first, and then it's
understandable.
I've got a new granddaughter, so it's a case of trying to find time.
Congratulations.
Having fun with her. I mean, she's almost she's 10 months, 11 months now, but she's at that stage where she's starting to kind of walk up. She's not walking yet, but she's trying to kind of go between the furniture and things like that. So she's at that age where it's really fun, nice. And you're trying to enjoy that at the minute. So with that, and I mean, Scottish politics is a bin fire. It's absolutely pointless. People they have meetings about meetings in Scottish politics. That's all they do. There's nothing radical about it. There's nobody want to do anything. They would all rather tell people how much they would die for the country while doing nothing but dying for the country. Dying in the country, nice. Sorry, not for the country. And I've never been like that. So I look after me and mine. That's how it goes. I look after me and mine. And anybody that wants to listen to his own anything that I'm doing, I still do an occasional podcast called Chosen by Cinnamon Bridges, which is on Rumble, because YouTube just censors it. Everyone that I put out, YouTube took it down. So I thought, well, there's the censorship's too heavy. It spoke about human trafficking. It spoke about satanic ritual abuse. It spoke about child abuse, obviously.
Very, very comedic subjects that are too funny for YouTube, basically. We'll leave a link to your Rumble. Because I actually have a Rumble too now, just in case. And I've got a couple of subscribers that are already on Rumble, so I'll send them over to you as well. Those topics definitely sound like something worth reviewing.
And feel free to take anything off there that you see that you want to use for anything, Stefan. There's plenty of stuff in it.
If I come across...
The previous talks are there as well.
Sorry, what'd you say?
The previous talks that we did, I uploaded them onto my Rumble channel, so they're there if you want to use them, even put them on.
Excellent.
You can put them onto your channel. You know how it goes. We're trying to wake people up, so we've got to share that whatever way we can.
Exactly. Agreed. Anything you want to say as we sign off here?
Thanks very much for having us on again. Let's not leave it as long to the next time. Hopefully there's no health concerns then. And I thanks to you and your listeners and viewers for tuning in. And I hope you are
keep on keeping on, especially with everything that's going on around about us, because it's horrific. Try and stay positive.
The apocalypse is well underway. Get your coffee and enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll get plenty of seats. Welcome.
Everyone, thank you for sticking around. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peter, Tweet Street, Scotland, thank you for coming back on. Everyone, see you again soon. Ciao, ciao.